Okay, so today we are looking at repairing a thread using a helicoil type kit. Unfortunately, I have stripped this one here. Now, the reason I've stripped that one and none others is because this doesn't have much meat on it, because behind the hole is a gear selector rod. So unfortunately, when I've torqued that one up, it has stripped. Now, I did tighten slightly too tight. Actually turns out these fasteners for UNC on 5/16 should only go to 6 foot-pounds, and I think I went to 11. Anyway, it is what it is. That has now stripped and now needs to be repaired. So the first thing I need to do is mask off the bearing to stop any aluminium debris going down there. Okay, so I have masked that up, and I'm going to put a cloth over the front to stop debris going down the front. Let's look at the Helicoil kit. Okay, this is the type of kit you're going to get. This one was from eBay. This cost £12. So you will get the correct size drill that will allow you to drill out the remains of the damaged thread. This is actually 8.3mm. You'll then get the correct size tap to allow you to tap the hole out to accept the insert. These are the inserts. They're basically like a spring with a diamond profile. To insert them, you need this insertion tool. You basically feed them on like so, and then once you've inserted it, you then break this tang off at the end using this punch here. So I'm going to show you all the steps of doing it. The instructions weren't that clear. It says drill hole, thread hole, insert, tap, break off, tang. That's about all it says. So hopefully I'll be able to add a bit more information for you. If you haven't used a helicoil kit before, I would seriously suggest you try one first on a bit of scrap metal. Okay, stage one, you want to drill out the hole. You want to get this as accurate as possible. You also notice I put a bit of tape on there. I don't want to go too deep on this one because there's nothing behind it on one side that will try to force the drill off. So as square as possible. Okay, that was as good as it gets. Next stage, get the tap out. Hand start the tap very carefully to try and make sure you get it square as possible. I'm using a little adjustable. I will change. Kind of looks okay. Let's see if we can get it in. So I do have a proper wrench. The only problem is it hits the side of the case, so I won't be able to turn it any more than a quarter at once. Okay, that is tapping very nicely. If you do need to use any lubricant, I find WD-40 works really well. Every so often, back it off just to clear the thread out. You don't want to damage this thread. As you can see, I'm just taking my time here This is probably the critical step here because you really don't want to mess this up. Okay, so that's as far as I can go. I'm now going to get the hoover to get rid of all the debris before I screw that out. Okay, now I can screw that out. It should come nicely out, which it is. Okay, so that is the worst bit done. The next bit is really quite important. You want to clean that out as best as you can because you don't want to have any debris in there while you're trying to screw the insert in. So I'm going to go and get my compressor on that. Okay, so I've zoomed right in just so you can see this step as well. You should be able to see the thread in that hole. That's nicely cleaned out. And I've put the insert on the tool. Now what I've done is I've put that collar right up against the thread. Because what you don't want to happen is when you're pushing this into the hole, you push the spring apart and it jumps a thread. So you want to be ever so careful on this step. So I don't know how well this will record. I think I'll have to adjust the camera. Okay, so I've adjusted the camera. Let's see. And that's going to be in the way. Yeah, I think we're okay. It's very light pressure. Little bit of force forward, but not much. Once it starts, you should be able to let it just screw itself in. It's going very nicely. I'm just going to undo that collar so I can screw it in half a turn past the edge of the hole. Hopefully you can see that now. If the camera focused. There you go. So that is our thread insert complete. And just to prove it, there you go, that screws in very nicely. So we have recovered that thread. Now the last bit that you're meant to do is to break off the tang down the bottom of the hole. We'll just adjust the camera so you can see that. Down the bottom of this hole will be the tang we've used just to thread it in, and that is what the punch is for. I have to be honest, that's one of the steps that is the most awkward to do, and you can find you push the insert out the back of the hole. So if you can very carefully do it with long nose pliers, I would suggest you do that, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it off from the back here. There we go. Potentially that is the worst step. Okay, so that is the repair done. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this video with a couple of pictures. This is the actual repair that I've done. And then the next picture goes along to one of the practice bits I did. And as you can see, I have cut it open. And it shows you how the helicoil works. This is obviously aluminium. And at the top you can see where the actual new thread was cut, and then you screw in the insert and it fills the area up very nicely to create the new thread. Anyway, I hope that video has been of use to you guys, and stay tuned for some more mini videos. Thanks for watching.